Hello, GP. My question is, making on action or waiting for a life to bring the impulse? How do I know the difference? I can't make decisions, staying in a job or leave, move out of the country or not. Yeah. The only reason it's difficult to make a decision is because there hasn't been enough time spent yet. There's an impulse, I need to make this decision, but you're reaching into a place, right, that isn't strong enough to make that decision, right? And it's simply that sense of identity. Oh, you continued. If moving, then where? My inner dialogue. Thank you for the advice. So put aside all the questions for a moment, okay? And you'll notice that inside of you, there is a desire, and let's put it in the most general terms. There is a desire for a more free, more expansive, more rich and energetic life, right? Now just be with that desire all by itself, right? Now that desire was there first, obviously, because if it wasn't there, it wouldn't have stimulated the decision making, and the kind of the inner conflict, all the stuff that's going on, this inner dialogue that's going on. It wouldn't have been stimulated. Was this desire not here first? So let's go back here. Forget all of that, right? Because what that is the desire arises, and it arises into the emotional and psychological and intellectual environment that has already been established. But now the desire, in order for that to be fulfilled, this environment here of your current state of mind and emotion may not be adequate for that to happen. And so posing the question here, how do I do it? How do I do it? You can never get the answer because it's the wrong tool for the job. So what has to happen first is you put all of that aside and you let the desire transform the environment. The way a plant, when it's growing, transforms the earth underneath it. It's in a constant exchange with it. And then it's in constant exchange as it pushes above the ground. Now it's giving off carbon dioxide and taking it. It's changing the environment. Matter of fact, in naturally occurring environments, permacultures, right? The various plants grew together, right? And one plant, which was a food, which was highly susceptible to certain insect, the one next to that was a repulsion to that insect, which protected the fruit plant. This is the interrelationship with. So it actually is creating the environment in which the fulfillment can take place. The energy of desire and the energy of fulfillment are the same. All desires come, batteries included. Our job is to allow ourselves to be transformed to the degree that this desire can actually begin to grow. Your only need is to create the environment in which it can grow. And say, how do I know the difference? God, I can't make it. I got to do this. I got to do that. Right? That's obviously not an environment conducive to it, is it? If it was, it would have worked, but it hasn't. Okay, put all that aside and just be with the desire. And this is a subtle one, but this is a real killer, right? The heart is only concerned with this desire. The mind starts asking, how do I do it? What if you don't need to? What if you don't need to do it? So the first thing I do is have people own the desire. Purely, right? No judgment, no criticism. It's a good thing. Should I have it? Should I not? How do I get it? Put all of that aside and just be with the pure energy of desire. And notice, yes, there's a certain discomfort in it. And because there's a discomfort, we immediately want to run to fulfillment. Right? I got to get it, or suppress it because it's uncomfortable. But instead be with, because it's not a negative discomfort. It's the energy that is moving life. And of course, if it's moving life, it's moving it from where it is to where it's going to be, which is always going to be a certain degree of discomfort. Right? So actually begin to get used to the feeling of the energy of desire, and you'll find it's actually quite pleasurable, right? When you have a desire to be with somebody, right? The desire to get physically close to someone, isn't the desire itself just sweet as hell? Getting there is half the fun, right? There's an intensity about it that builds, right, up to its fulfillment. And if it wasn't there, there'd be no fulfillment. So you can't have one without the other. So put all okay, I've got this desire in its most general form. I want more freedom. I want more self-expression. I want more intimacy, all of those kinds of things. And the mind has said, okay, well, then what I have to do, stay in this job or leave. Right? The mind immediately jumps in and starts trying to manipulate the circumstances. Too soon. Put that aside, and instead let the energy itself transform the inner environment. Right? You make it safe for it to grow, and it will make the transformation. It will start adjusting thoughts, attitudes. It'll start opening things up. It'll start seeing opportunities where you didn't see them before. Right? This is harmonizing with. This is non-dual, because you are not seeing desire as something separate. The first appearance of anything is the desire for it. If God wants you to do something, what's the best way for her to get you to do it? The best guaranteed way you're going to do it. Force you, threaten you. If you don't do it, you're going to go to hell. The best way is to make you want to. Done. Completely self-generated. So think of this desire as the first appearance of what it is you actually want. It is not separate from that. It is not something you have to endure until you get it, nor is it up to the mind to figure out how to do it. That it itself is the appearance, and you didn't create it. It is the universe itself, God herself, whatever you want to call it, has decreed, this shall be so. Let there be light. Speaking into creation. And the first impulse of that bubbling up from the absolute, from pure potential, is the feeling of desire. Well, the primary one is the feeling of I am. And without that, there can be nothing else. And that sense, on top of that, you feel the desire, impulse, interest, curiosity, all of these characteristics. And our job is to free them from the limitations of thought. And to do that, you see them for what they really are. Every desire is an angel. It is a message. Right? It is a leading, a directing. If you see him as such, you'll pay so much attention to it. You'll just love it. You'll take your hands off of it, and you'll even become curious as to what is it actually going to become. The way a parent would look at their child, not having any idea who they're going to be. What are they going to be like? You're looking at a 2-year-old playing. What are they going to be like when they're 20? Have no idea, right? Your job is just protect them and be completely thrilled by what they become. I'll leave that for now.